Hello everyone. We are back out at the Switchyard today and we're going to go looking for a structure that used to be a central part of the Switchyard. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous summer morning. A little bit of wind, so I apologize if that gets into the microphone. Because it's so gorgeous, the park is also very active. So if we see some runners or some joggers or some vehicles, that's what's going on there. I've tried to shoot this video a couple times now. And I've decided to stop trying to edit out the runners and the joggers this morning. So, might have some guests, whether they like it or not. Okay, so we're gonna go looking for the remains, and I do mean the remains, of a building that used to be out here. And that was called the Roundhouse. It was a very large structure with several bays, like car garages, where old locomotive engines, train cars, boilers, could be brought in, taken into those bays and serviced, or maybe even stored. The turntable was a device at the center of this circular structure, semicircular structure, where the engines could be pulled onto the turntable, and then they'd spin it around and put it right into the bay, or spin it around and go a different direction. So needless to say, this was a pretty big building. And we are going to go brave the long grass and the ticks and the snakes and whatever else we might find. And we're going to go into this mess to look for it. So a friend of mine sent me some maps, sent me a link to maps that go back all the way to 1898. And these maps were for the whole area, for the whole town. But the Switchyard shows up in 1898. It's about when it, I think, was first made. And on that map, they have the original Roundhouse and some structures around it. So that's the year I'm going to reference, and that's the map I used to kind of find the location of the Roundhouse. Now, you can see the Roundhouse from Google Maps. I also found a couple links to some railroad historians who have pictures of what this whole area looked like going back pretty far. And I will put those links down below in the box. I don't have any copyright to the maps. I don't have any access or rights to put those on my video. So I'm just going to send you the links and you can go there. Until I get that from those owners, I'm not going to put them on my video. I'm going to respect that. But those photographs are amazing, and I highly recommend you check them out. I do have one photograph that I can show you that was from a public information board along the trail that goes through the city as you come onto the Switchyard. So I'm going to show you that now. So you can see, I think that picture was maybe from the 30s, 20s, 30s. But you can see how industrialized this used to look. So back to the maps. What I did was, I saw on Google Maps where I thought the Roundhouse used to be. And then with some copy and paste magic, I took the maps and I overlaid them onto the actual Google Maps. And I was able to get a pretty good idea of where things stood. So that's where we're going to go, and that's what I'm going to show you guys. The whole area would have been active, day in, day out, powered by gas lights, gas lamps, coal power, up until the modern era where they were able to get electricity into here. So this whole area, like I said before, hundreds, over 100 years of history right here. And this is just nature coming back. What we're looking at right now is just nature that's come back in about the past 15 years. From what I understand, the last train was coming through the Switchyard around 2005. Now, if you hear a lot of engine noise or sirens or anything else, I apologize, but we are in a park that's pretty much a city park. So we're gonna get a lot of noise and activity, and it's a pretty busy day. All right, so we are there. You couldn't tell from looking at it, but we are here. So let me turn the camera around, show you what we're looking at, and get to it. There's these concrete pads. Here's one, all right? Angles off this way. There's another one, angling off that way. Now this is only about 3 to 5 of the pads that I can find that are still open and uncovered. This one, there's another one, and they all come off. That one comes in this way. They all come off on a radial, and I think the video picks it up pretty well. All kind of coming back to this area. This one is probably the best one to give me an idea of where the turntable stood, which we'll get to in a minute. The part you've got to watch out for over here, and I found a couple of these, is that, where is it? Yeah. These were built on a foundation that is slowly starting to come undone. And it's still solid. It's still concrete over rebar. But you got to watch out for these holes that are pretty much, they're not everywhere. But I like to pretend they're everywhere, and that way I don't fall into one. Okay, what I want to do right now is give you guys a sense of scale. I know the camera doesn't pick up scale very well, and I've not seen any pictures of this roundhouse with a human figure next to it to give you guys a sense of just how big this would have been. Think in your head, how big is a locomotive? How big is a train car? And each one of these bays would have held one of those, and this roundhouse had room for 17. It had 17 bays that kind of fanned out in almost a full circle around the turntable, which is right over there, and we'll get to that in a minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm 6'8". Yeah, I know, I'm tall. Yes, I played basketball. But I'm going to walk out there, give you guys a sense of scale. I'm going to walk all the way to the back of what I think would be the back wall of the building. And you guys can then kind of see how much space this would have taken up. Now, this building came down sometime before 1970. I've seen a picture of a locomotive engine on the turntable around 1973, and the roundhouse isn't there. They just have kind of the spokes of the wheel to still move the cars into if they needed to. So the building came down sometime before 1973. I'm not sure, when exactly that happened. The maps, of course, start in 1898, so it gives you an idea. It's still almost 100 years that this building would have stayed up. All right, let me go take a walk. This is one of the bays here. Another bay right here. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you guys a sense of just how big this building would have been. It's kind of funny, I showed you those holes. There's another hole right over there. If you saw me moving around kind of crazy, that's why. All right, so let's go take a look at the turntable and just kind of look at the surrounding area a little bit. The best I can figure, I don't know if you can see through there, but there's a pad. There are the pads, and they come into this area right here. So, unfortunately, this wall of honeysuckle and brambles, sumac trees, this is where the turntable was, and I am almost 80 to 90, I'm 90% sure that this is where the turntable would have been, and as you can see, it is just thick. I've waited till the perfect time to try and get into where the turntable was. Let's go over here. I found an opening to get into this place, so we're going on a little adventure. All right, so right here, somebody's got a little trail right here. Let's go in. Let's brave the thicket. Oh God. See, I'm braving. Oh, it's about a 4-foot high space, so this is fun. Okay, but it does open up back here. Hey. Holy cow, what'd they do with Mary Poppins? Okay, so to the best of my guessing, and I use that word very strongly, we're pretty close to where the turntable would have been. All in 15 years, right? Like the last train came out of here around 2002, 2005. It's 2017 now. The bays come off in this direction. Oh, so Yeah, but over here, you know, there's little bits of concrete and little bits. They've done a good job of filling it in. There's a big stone piece here. And this might have been the turntable area. I mean, it would have held a whole train car, so it would have been a big turntable. Somebody had a camp back here. And actually, this is a pretty good place to have a camp. If you're gonna have a camp, you are pretty well protected back here. Nobody can see you unless they're using heat imaging stuff. Keeps the wind, keeps the sun off of you. It's actually not too bad, except for the poison ivy. But this would have been a huge circular structure that spun around with gears and mechanisms, and would have allowed them to move the trains around. However, it's not that anymore. All right, so let's try to get our men out of here. Oh. Yeah, that'll leave a mark. Okay, let's go back out this way. Adventure, we have it, kind of. All right, this is the fun part. How low can you go? We can go pretty low. Oh, poison ivy, good, good. Yeah. All right. There's the turntable, guys. It's back there. Whew. Out of that mess, and so there are the bays, and they come over here. There's more bays here and over here. So this was a huge, again, I just can't stress enough, this whole area. Look at the size of the trees. This whole area would have been the roundhouse and would have arced all the way over here. We go back here, look at some of the bays that are left. The ones I've shown you are probably the most well-defined. These get pretty overgrown and pretty messy. Here's one of the homeless spots I've told you about, and why the police have to kind of cruise back here and make their own roads, and yeah. It's too bad. And so here's some more signs of bays. This one here, here, and you get into where they've knocked the trees down. They're starting to work on, I think, a sewer project. But these bays cut through and come in to this direction. And I don't think you can see it from here, but right there is the thicket area we went into. Apologize for the wind, guys. And over here, here's another example of why you need to be careful. This one's a little bit more obvious, but there's several holes like this. This is just an opening in the foundation of the roundhouse near the back side. And we are looking, this is probably due east. But yeah. There's been a board put down there. Looks like there was a tent or a tarp in there. Let's go take a look. You ready? Tell me what you see. Anything? Some tent poles down there. There we go. Okay. The real sad part about that is that I think somebody has slept in there. Not lately, of course, but I think they were using it as a place to sleep. So yeah, and I put my hand in poison ivy, so that'll be fun later. You know, it's one thing to look at something on a map and, you know, you can kind of get a sense of scale, but then when you're on the ground and it's so covered over, you're trying to find where things are or where they were. It'll be kind of tough. We're gonna go over, I'm looking at these bays and how they angle around, and it's almost like where we went into the thicket, I think, is pretty close. It would have been part of the center area, but we're gonna walk over here And I think there might be, let's go, because there's another bay coming in, because it's stretched from almost due north all the way around just past south, so more than 180 degrees. Let's walk over here. All coming into this area, so let's just kind of go back here. A little bit more open, flowery. I'm looking on the ground. I'm just looking to see if I can see any sign. Flowers, anyone? No, they smell good. I might not had to have gone into that thicket after all. Oh, what's this? Oh, dang. Oh, this is exciting. So we went into the thicket over there. Oh, wow. So I'm pretty sure those are not tree roots right there. Those are iron rods that go horizontally. Anybody in there? Hello? I don't see anybody. It's all jumbled up and hard to get my camera in there. Yeah. I think we're standing right on the turntable itself. That's a fun little discovery. I think I found something pretty cool. And if nothing else, it's just evidence that this is where the turntable was. I'm going to be a little careful because I am smelling some really strong, like musky smell, and that could be raccoons. That could be. It's not a skunk smell. It's almost like a dead smell. So that's nerve-wracking. But it's really musky back here. So we're going to proceed a little slowly. But whatever it is, if it's still alive, knows we're here. So let me show you what I found. And you can see, so you can see here, this is basically a circle. Big concrete circle that comes all the way around, which would have been probably the outer edge of the turntable. And then in that would have been the section that spun around. So this goes, and the circumference of this pretty much matches, goes all the way over there. Whew, that smell is strong. Let's see what we can see back here. Hopefully we can either find the source of the smell or run screaming. All right, here we go. Is there something I want to look at over here? Famous last words. Let's go this way. Oh, you guys still with me? All right, now you can really see. Oh yeah, perfect. And the smell's gone. So something back over there, but you can see, okay, here's the edge. It goes all the way around back through those woods over there. So that in there would have been the turntable. Cool. Further along, but we can't go any further. Like, this is just a thick wall of brush. So if this is still here and not being developed back in the fall and winter, we'll come back here and poke around. And we're going to head back out. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's fun. Oh, yeah, the smell's really strong over here. So, and it's not going away. So it's something dead. Oh, okay. We'll stand up here in a minute. Okay. Glad I came over here. Well, I think our work here is done. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It's good to find the spot finally. I've been poring over maps and details trying to find this exact location. And I could always find evidence of the bays, but it was good to go back there and find that little semicircle. Tells me that I was spot on. All right, so I'm gonna head out, and next video I think we're gonna go down and look at where the old ice plant used to be, which is further south of the Roundhouse. And we might do some creek stomping after the creeks calm down a bit. They're still a little flooded from all the rain, and we're supposed to get more in the next couple days. Cool. If you enjoyed this video, want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Comments are my lifeblood. I love them. I love talking with you guys. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or things you thought were cool or not cool, let me know. I'm gonna walk through these flowers. I'm gonna do it. All right, get outside, y'all. It's good for you. So the thing about the the cool thing about this park is, oh really? It's a buck.